Phoenix, you went out and saw the Odyssey last night. Is that
I
correct?
did, yes. It was killing me. I had too many questions. I've been really interested in how this movie was going to play out, what it would look like. Because if you look at the reviews, there's very little in the middle. It is black or white. It is a masterpiece or it is a bag of shit. And I understand why now after seeing it.
Okay.
First thing I want to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say that leads. Can I share your score that you put over
Yes.
on X?
Yeah.
This was kind of jarring to see. 9.5 out of 10. Is this a troll or is he
Wow.
serious?
Well, we're gonna see. No, it is. It's legit. That is a legit review. However, I don't want to make this a long segment. I'm going to try and keep this as condensed as I possibly can. Really, really fast.
Okay.
First off, I want to say is a movie that you all do need to see that I think we will all agree is like one of the best popcorn films I've seen in a long time. Masters of the Universe. Please see. Yes, please. Craig, your thoughts on Masters? Amazing movie.
Loved it. Loved everything
it.
about it. I feel honestly deceived by the marketing of it. It was so
Bingo.
poor. And if there was good marketing on it, I think it would have done considerably better. I had no interest in seeing it. My first thought was, who was the audience? Turns out it's me. After watching it on Amazon the other day, I loved most of it. I think, the tail end, I enjoyed like 95% of it. I thought Masters of the Universe was outstanding.
I'd say if you're a dad and you've got a son, especially, this is a movie to go see. It's a celebration of masculinity, and I'd say in all the best ways possible. There is nothing. If you heard that this was anti-male and that it's woke, it is the polar opposite of that. I will challenge anyone on that. I didn't see anything in there. As a matter of fact, it really goes out of its way to make fun of many of those aspects. So it's a really good time, whether you know the property or not. I would definitely give it a watch. I can't see the average person coming out of there. I think you're going to say it's a 7 at minimum, even if you don't know the property. All right, Odyssey.
Real quick, let me say this real quick. There are some people on my timeline who are like, "Oh, the normies are out." It's like, yeah, dude, that's how you make money with your property, right? It's okay to be faithful to the property 100%, but like, I don't know all the He-Man lore. Like, sorry, I don't. I was 5 when it came out, and I forgot about He-Man when I was 6. So like, I enjoyed what I saw, and yes, while I'm sure there were some things that were wrong with it, yeah, call me a normie. That's fine. I'm totally okay with that. But just get off your high horse and realize there's a reason why I didn't make money, because the normies didn't go see it, and you, Mr. Hardcore, didn't go see it as well because you were.
No, I also
sticking to your
think of the
guns.
time it came out. I
Right.
mean, most people who go into movies right now are like Zoomers and millennials, and I think He-Man came out in like the 80s. That's
Yeah.
something that I would literally say I would take my dad to take and see because he probably has memories of He-Man where I don't.
Right. All right. So Phoenix.
Yeah,
the
Papa
Odyssey.
Elpar's actually in here. He just said, yeah, it came out during his time.
As far as He-Man's concerned, my only very small gripes with it is I felt that there was an unnecessary amount of violence here and there. I just went like, didn't need that. I don't care. This takes off no points. I was like, you didn't need to go the like stabbing and then also cursing every once in a while. I didn't feel like that. And a lot of sexual innuendos I could have done without any of that. Does it hurt the film though? No, I would say that. But anyway, Odyssey. So super, super quick. I totally understand now why this was extremely polarizing. If someone, and many people have, said to me, this is the most boring thing I've ever watched, I would not fault them for saying that. And I can now also confirm, and I owe Dispro, you were right. As far as we had that great conversation, he and I, and it went up, he was right. The choices in this thing, that was award bait. There was no reason for Paige to be playing that character. There was no reason for Lupita Nyong'o to be in there. Does it take away from the film? No. In my opinion, it does not at all take away from it. But if you wanted to boycott the film because you don't like that aspect, I can confirm now you should do that, because it was no question that was not a symbolism choice or something greater, higher art here. That really, it felt like insert DEI. That's what it felt like.
Right.
Does it affect the story though? Zero affects the story, not even a little bit. Okay. if you go into this film wanting an action Odyssey adventure, you are going to be bored out of your mind. That is not what this film is. This is, if you love mythology, if you love stories that every frame is a symbol, if you love introspection of a character, this is essentially the Odyssey of the main character. It's his inner, essentially, what he is going through. That's what the Odyssey actually is. That's what I would argue it's about. Then you will love this film. You do not, in my opinion, need to see this on IMAX. I saw it on a semi-IMAX screen. I didn't think it was visually breathtaking or anything like that. Maybe I need to see it on a true IMAX. Can you watch this on your big screen TV at home with a good sound system? I think you can if you're curious and you don't want to spend the money. So for me, I would give it a 9.5 out of 10. I do want to see it again. I have a feeling it's going to climb to a 10.
Wow.
But again, do I think like Blabs are like this? No. I don't think Blabs would like this. Craig, I think you'd probably come out of it slightly bored. I think the average rating for our average audience here would probably be at a 6, maybe. Right. And nothing against that. I get it.
You have said many, many times, like, you like pretentious movies, right?
Yes, I do.
More like Craig has said that you like pretentious movies.
I do. I just say that because it's a very easy gimmick to just say, I do like headier things. I do like, symbolism, things like that. Care and craft into what you're trying to say. Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I'm saying the average moviegoer, I'm not putting that down. I'm not saying you idiots. I think the average moviegoer going to be a little bored. But I will say that if you do give it a shot, what it does very effectively, no matter what, is you truly feel like you went on an adventure. I mean, that you feel like you went on this Odyssey the entire time. The people around me, I could watch them fidgeting in their chair, talking with one another. You could see they were getting bored, and I was all in and wanted another hour. So if you love mythology, you love symbolism, you really like the idea of going on this adventure and it really feeling like you went on it, give this movie a shot. I really think you owe it to yourself to see it in the movie theater. However, if you're not that kind of person and or you don't like the DEI shit, fully support the idea of you saying, nah, no dog. But it doesn't, I will say, it just doesn't affect the story at all.
Looking at the chat.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, Eva.
I loved the Odyssey, like reading it when I think it was required reading in school. But the most annoying part of me, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I have heard they took out the nobody scene regarding the Cyclops, and that pisses me off to no end. Because they said, it doesn't translate to a modern audience. I'm sorry, Family Guy still makes that misunderstood fucking dad joke thing all the time. It absolutely would have translated, in my opinion, but that's my only issue going into the movie.
It's there symbolically. It's not said, it's there symbolically.
Oh, okay. Well, at least they reference it, I guess.
Ish, yes.
So there's a comment in here I think you could probably address from Red River on Kicks. As you said, if it was DEI for the sake of awards, you would give up on them, not give them a 10.
I don't know if I said I would not give it a 10. So having now seen it, I'm now judging it based off of what I saw, right? And what I saw, the characters in there none of the hires they chose affected my viewing experience. I'm openly, however, saying now that I said it, I can confirm to everyone, I'm even saying Disper was right, that it does feel like that was inserted. However, it did not take away from the story or experience. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. So if you want to boycott that, totally 100% get it. 100%.
My favorite chat probably comes from Lane, who said, and I quote, "It's perfect. No one else will like it."
It depends how you go into it. It just depends how you go into this film. If, like I said, if you're looking for a popcorn film, you are going to really hate this film. Really hate it. I think if you like if you like the Lord of the Rings, which is a lot of walking to people who are not Lord of the Rings fans like myself, you might want to give this a shot because it really feels like you're going on that adventure. That's what I'd say.
Okay.
I totally get the black and white. That's all I keep saying. I get why it's so polarized. That someone's not going to go like, it was I think you love it or hate it.
You know, the issue is that there are a lot of different kinds of audiences, again, like all of humanity. And as we become more global and more interconnected due to the internet, um, the idea that people don't have their own individual likes, like as far as like these films are trying to capture, like in general, I'm not talking about this film in particular, but Hollywood tries to capture like the biggest portion of like humanity, right? So like something like this probably is not really made for that, right? That's what it sounds like to me. Like what you're trying to say is that it's kind of more of a niche audience. Like the targeted audience is more niche, but they're still marketing it as like a a big film because I mean, of course you would, right? So maybe it's that kind of a thing, right? Like there are a lot of like popular films that like I wouldn't like, even though they're popular and everyone loves them, right?
I will say this film may not be the best, but it is one of the more polarizing films.
Extremely polarizing. Extremely polarizing.
And
I mean, and look, I will say, like, and real quick, is like, yes, I do love high art, pretentious shit. I wouldn't put this file under pretentious. But remember, I also just gave a high praise for He-Man Masters of the Universe because I can watch things. I go for what this thing is. I'm watching it as this, and that is a great movie. And that's like basically just sex jokes in that thing, and a shirtless guy stabbing people.
Same thing I do. Like I'll say something and watch your chat will probably freak out at me, but I didn't hate Korra. Now the Avatar Last Airbender.
Wow.
I don't love Korra, but I don't hate it either. And that's because I watch it in a vacuum without going, oh God, let me compare this to the OG series every fucking second, every second frame. That's honestly, you're living a tortured existence if you have to view everything through that kind of a veil. Just watch it, sit back, enjoy if you want, don't enjoy if you don't want, but don't let the opinions of the greater internet affect your enjoyment of things, in my opinion.
I'll tell you what, let's Dr. Cheesy Pants came in with this question. Phoenix. Dr. Cheesy Pants wants to know, says, how can he give it a 9.5? Even with his own reasoning, it's an 8 at best.
With my reasoning that it's an 8 at best, I don't miss.
Yeah. Just the things you said about it.
Right.
So it implied it wasn't 9.5 is almost perfect, Phoenix.
It is almost perfect, yes, because so I can understand, I guess, a little bit of the confusion here. I'll try my best to explain it. So what it does not do, none of the DEI stuff in here is talking down to the audience. There's no anti-mask, there's no anti-man, there's no any of that stuff. What you have here is merely a casting decision of putting Paige in there when there was no reason to put Paige. Matter of fact, you could argue that it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. That said, so from an if I knew this going in 100% knew it, because I was getting so much feedback from different places of it is and it isn't. Now that I've seen it, I can say, yes, these were inserts. However, so totally get it if you don't want to see it now, 100%. That said, I did see it. And none of those casting decisions changed the story or pacing or anything. They just were different casting choices. That's all I can say.
So it's like a neutral, basically. So it's like they didn't make it good, but they didn't make it terrible.
The Paige character is essentially a very weak character. So the fact that Paige was put in place, it makes sense physical wise, if that makes sense, right? It didn't take away from anything. There was no woke moment where they're talking down to the audience or putting a message in. None of that. It was merely insert avatar of this actor versus someone else. Right, so it didn't change my experience.
I'm gonna watch this now.
Phoenix, you're giving her more. You're giving her more money. Congratulations.
You might like it, Lee.